Welcome to Seen Through Glass. Now, in my last video, I gave you guys a bit of a garage update where I explained that my Ferrari 360 Modena was going nowhere and that later in the year I may consider selling my Porsche 718 Cayman S. Now, whilst both of those statements are true, it doesn't mean that I don't spend a whole load of time lusting after other cars. And one car that I've been lusting after in particular recently is the Ferrari 612 Scaglietti. Now, I can't really explain it because the 612 is a car that I never really liked. In fact, it was a Ferrari that I disliked, but I woke up about a month or so ago and went, I want a Scaglietti. In the future, I would love to add to my 360, build a bit of a little sort of Ferrari collection. And whilst I dream of a Challenge Stradale, a Speciale Aperta, an Enzo, a LaFerrari, I have to be a bit more realistic and concentrate on the Ferraris that are currently a bit more obtainable. And the 612, I think, is a bit of a bargain. Like the 360, they sit on the used market for anywhere between 60 to 100,000 pounds, depending on condition and mileage and things. And apart from perhaps the 456, I think it's one of the cheapest V12 Ferraris that you can buy. So today, I've come down to Simon Furlonger Specialist Cars, who are kings of all things Ferraris, to check out a couple of examples, because I've never driven a 612, let alone sit in one, and I need to work out whether the Scaglietti could one day be my next Ferrari. So here we go. These are the two 612 Scagliettis that Simon Furlonger currently have in stock, and these are actually two very different cars. They might look relatively similar from the outside, but they differ massively. So on the left we have a 2005 car, and on the right a 2010 one-to-one car. That is a very bespoke, unique and quite rare car. Now we've got £80,000 on the left and £130,000 on the right. Now the problem is I'm an idiot. I like shiny, expensive things, so I've immediately discounted the car on the left and focused on the car on the right, which is, I mean, my whole point was coming down here to try and find an obtainable Ferrari, and I'm now looking at one for £130,000, which is redonkadonk. But let me explain my reasoning. Firstly, there's a lot of mechanical upgrades that the car on the right has. Being a one-to-one car, not only is it sort of bespoke to the owner's request, but it's just got sort of lots of trickery on it, and it's just a later car in general, so it's got the updated F1S gearbox. Both cars have flappy paddle gearboxes, by the way. Neither are manual. Manual 612s are very, very hard to find and very, very expensive. But not only that, aesthetically inside the cars are massively different. From the outside, really the only difference on this one is it's got chrome wheels and it's black. But let me just come and show you inside. So the red car first, as I say, 2005, so 3 years older than my 360, but there's a few things in here which I think date it a bit. I mean, look at these for the windows. I don't like that at all. The actual radio is very similar to the mine in the 360. This is quite cool though. F1 Constructors World Championship plaque, 99 to 2003. These were the most recent Constructors World Championships that Ferrari had won when the car came out in 2005. But apart from that, sort of, you know, relatively standard black leather. It doesn't feel that special in there. One thing though to note, I don't know if you can see down there, the flags just underneath the radio. Usually that is a Ferrari flag and a Pininfarina flag, but here it's a Singaporean flag because this car was actually made for a Singaporean prince. So kind of cool bit of history, but for some reason it doesn't really give me the fizz. If we come over to the one-to-one car, which of course I'm going to like more because it's more highly spec'd, we've got these controversial chrome wheels, but just look at this, look at the inside. Oh, we have got contrast yellow stitching, we've got carbon fibre all over the place, we've got a glass sunroof, we have the updated F1 Constructors World Championship plaque, 2007. Was that the last? I think that was the that was the last time Ferrari won a Constructors World Championship. Wow, that's pretty embarrassing. That's over 10 years ago now. But yeah, it's just a nicer, it just feels more special. We've got a updated infotainment system with a screen. As I mentioned, this has got the sportier flappy paddle gearbox. We're going to get into a lot more of the sort of mechanical upgrades of this car. I just think it's just a bit more, And you have to remember, this was like a 200 grand car or over that when it was new, and that one feels like it. This, I'm not so sure. However, the question is, at £130,000, would I be better off spending my money on a 550 or a 599 or a left-hand drive Challenge Stradale or a left-hand drive 458? I mean, that's a lot of money. None of those have 4 seats, however, and that's the kind of appeal for me of the 612. So we're going to jump into both cars. I'm probably going to jump into this car first, off camera, just to experience it, get to grips with what a 612 is all about, and then get into this car because, as I say, unfortunately I've already fallen in love with it, so that's the one I want to experience straight out of the box. So yes, I will join you very shortly, more than likely in the driver's seat of this black 612. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt from Furlonger. We've just jumped out of the 2005 Scaglietti, which is a bit of an older, more, I would say, basic car.
You've changed.
I know, I have.
You have changed.
Now I own a 360.
We now say, oh, we've got 5.7 V12, it's a bit basic.
Well, this car, we've got carbon fibre, contrast stitching, glass sunroof, F1S.
Hang on, not sunroof. That is a panoramic roof, and it's a tinted panoramic roof. You can make it dark or light with electrolytes.
No.
Yeah, same as Super America.
The reason that I think I've sort of started to like the idea of potentially a Scaglietti or a V12 Ferrari is because if I were to add to the 360, I don't see much point in getting another V8. I'd want to try the V12 experience.
They're very different cars and a lot of reasons, but the big thing about V12s is they're not like a lot of other manufacturers where this is going to be, you know, not as good as the V8 because it's not mid-engine. Ferrari spends so much time developing chassis, gearboxes, you know, transaxle.
And front-engine V12, a little bit more iconic in Ferrari's history than the mid-engine V8, right? In theory, if you look all the way back to the 50s and 60s.
That's what they started in, yeah. So
there we go.
We haven't actually lifted the bonnet on these, but I think you'll be surprised how far back the engine is.
So
the
front
block is here, the block is here.
Really?
Yeah, and the gearbox is on the back. So obviously it's not mid-engine, but it's very different to say, you know, a lot of front-engine cars. Well, yeah, I mean, but even if you look at some of, you know, I mean, like Audi, for example, when they do a front-engine car, it's right at the front, isn't it? You know. Sure. And if you look at some of the other, like Porsche, like the Panamera and things like that, you know, it's not the same as the way these are. You know.
Oh mate, I like this a lot. We haven't done anything. We've got 20 miles an hour so far. Oh,
still not super loud though.
No, but I found that I'm trying to think of other V12 Ferraris I've been in. 550 is quite subdued as well.
Very quiet, yeah. 599 a bit noisier. I mean, you haven't got the valve open yet, so it will be louder.
It will be louder. From the outside, when you started this thing up, it sounded.
Yeah, because the valve's open straight away.
Yeah. But in here, and then we got a screen. What is this? I don't know if I want to touch it.
Yeah, that's all right.
It works. Oh, look at that! But no, there you go. Now it's tinted.
See, now it's gone
so
dark.
How do I make that? Then just do that.
And that. Yeah, it takes a bit
of time.
Yeah, because it's basically little electrical wires going through, pulling it apart. You can see straight away.
It's a nice little gimmick there, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So we're in sport here already.
Yeah, so just press it auto.
Get rid of auto.
Manual.
So I've got SF has popped up on my little dash. What's that?
Super fast.
Shut up. Okay, we'll come down a few gears, like.
Yeah, so you get the. Yeah.
Oh, there was a nice on the gear shot. I kind of want to pump a window. I'm going to do your window a little bit, just because I feel like there's more noise going on outside than there is inside. Oh, oh, mate. You know what? I actually hated the 612 for a really long time. Like.
Hate is such a strong word.
No, but I had a strong feeling because I was just like,
hate,
what?
Basic. These are real, you know, terms for a 612.
What a dick I've become, right? But it's, I don't know what it was. I just didn't really understand it. But now I'm in it. It's it's quite. Oh, and it turns and it's.
Yeah, it's so much better. It's not a better car, you can't say that, but it's
a more refined, more precise car.
The 5 years is a big development. Yeah?
And what are running costs like on these things? I mean, it's still it's a V12 Ferrari, so it's not going to be cheap. But was the technology of a place where it was kind of acceptable, or are they still very expensive to run?
I mean, so we charge $595 for a V8 service.
Okay.
We charge $695 for a V12 service. In that respect, there's no difference.
Sure.
Tyres, no difference to what you got. Brakes, these are carbon ceramics, so you wouldn't necessarily replace them, but if you did, that would be really costly.
Sure.
But Ferrari had quite a lot of time developing carbon ceramics because obviously you had the Challenge Ferrari and the Enzo.
Yeah.
So by the time they sort of started getting to the later cars, the brakes last a lot longer. I think if you owned a 612, you need to allow $3,000 to $3,500 a year as an average.
Okay, so I was told 1.5 to 2 for a 360.
Okay, yeah. So I think the biggest cost on these are they're quite hard on suspension. This has just been sales pitch.
Yep,
this
please.
has just been service and cam belts.
You're selling to me, so you're doing well, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a couple of grand just done, service and cam belts. But yeah, I mean, I think $3,500 a year is a good average. If you took that over 5 years,
sure.
to work out.
I'd say a big V12 Ferrari, you're not going to be, running around for £200 a year, but everything is in consideration, isn't it? How hard you drive the car, what kind of scenarios you drive in the car, burning through clutches and tyres. Just depends on so many different scenarios, but I do like how you can be this very comfortable Grand Tourer like this, but then when we got up and went out that roundabout, it was...
Yeah, I mean, it's... I said to you, like both of them, that Ferrari never build a car, in my opinion, that you can't drive fast and won't give you loads of input back.
I guess the question would be, and you might know this a bit better than me, against a 599, because at this price point for this particular car, $130,000, you could get a 599, right? And surely that's a better car. You haven't got the back seats, which is a big part I like about this car, but it's a better GT car, surely.
Oh, you go to a lot of car meets, yeah?
Of course.
How many one-to-ones have you seen?
Yeah, no.
That's the only real point you can say. I think the 599 is an Enzo engine. Is it better looking? That's in the eye of someone else, I guess, but to me, I probably prefer the looks of the 599. It's another 80 horsepower, so it's quicker. But there's something about this that I think you turn up in a 612 one-to-one, you can take 3 of your friends if you want. It has got a real boot, and it's just completely different. There's 20 right-hand drives, that's it, in the UK.
Wow.
So
how many cars, do you know how many cars were made worldwide, one-to-ones?
We'll check when we get back. I think it's 250 from memory.
Yeah, it's just...
200, might be 200.
Oh, it's nice. It's really, really nice. Right, I reckon we got to go back to the dealership before I get way too carried away and try and buy this car off you, because I can't afford it, but...
Sure, there's a way in there.
It's lived up to my weird expectations. I woke up like a month ago and went, I want a 612. I don't know why. I was just like, yeah, having disliked this car for so long, and now I'm in it, it's kind of what I wanted it to be. Bloody hell. Damn it! Well, it's been a confusing morning. I didn't expect to come down here and test a 612 that's £130,000. My whole point, as I made in the intro, was that the 612 was a bargain at £60,000 or £80,000. However, stepping into that car, I didn't love it that much. It didn't feel that special. So yeah, I don't really know what to make of this. I feel like there's maybe a series in the hunt for my next Ferrari. God knows when I'll actually be able to purchase my next Ferrari, but it's an interesting topic. But yeah, I think at 130k, I would probably rather spend my money on a 599 or a 458 project car or something of the sort. So anyway, huge thanks to the guys down here at Simon Furlonger for letting me come down and test drive these two cars. A very special day indeed. Make sure to go and check them out. They always have insane stock, not just Ferraris. I'll put a link to them below. Give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.